Breaking news overnight. There's heavy damage and possible fatalities after a tornado hit Jefferson City, Missouri. That's in the southwestern part of the state. Police early this morning said a number of people are hurt, and there are reports of people still trapped in the debris. First responders are going door to door looking for victims. The mayor says the damage she's seen so far is devastating.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for waking up with us on this Thursday morning. I'm Jordan Schreier here with Lisa Badeau. We're just getting started with your news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. It was a scary weekend out on the lake for one person when their boat started on fire. Tri-State Diving says they got a call Monday to pull a burnt boat from Big Pine Lake near Perham, Minnesota. The company says the owner of the boat took it out over the weekend and was heading to his cabin when he noticed a weird smell coming from the engine.
The boater turned off the engine and smoke billowed out. He tried to contain the fire, but it ended up engulfing the boat. Luckily, two fishermen saw the smoke and came to the rescue. The man was able to get out of his boat safely. Authorities were called to put out the fire.
Then, while the boat was being dragged back to shore, it got hung up on a sandbar. Tri-State Diving eventually recovered the boat on Tuesday. We have new information this morning on Minnesota's special legislative session. They had planned for a one-day session today to wrap up some unfinished work, but it looks like that might not happen.
Governor Tim Walz and top legislative leaders are still finishing work on the state's next two-year budget. They had hoped for a special session late this week, but have not yet set a date. A popular pedestrian bridge in South Fargo and Moorhead is back up again after recent rains pushed the Red River back into flood stage. The bridge between Lindenwood in South Fargo and Gooseberry in Moorhead was raised yesterday after only being back in place for about a week.
And this shot here is from the first week of May, and the water isn't quite this high, but it is high enough to cover the entry points to that pedestrian bridge. The Red River is at about 19 feet this morning. Flood stage is 18 feet. And get ready for the first blast of outdoor sirens in West Fargo today. The city is testing its emergency warning system starting at 10 this morning.
You'll hear intermittent 10-second bursts from each siren. The test usually starts north of I-94 and moves south, and it's expected to be done by 6 p.m., barring any weather or technological delays.
And the weather should hopefully be cooperating with us today, or at least a little bit of the break from the rain we've been having recently.
That's right. We are dry at this point in time, but we do have some cloud cover hanging around, and there are some places with some fog and mist reducing our visibility a little bit. So still a bit on the gloomy side here today. And we'll keep those clouds around for a while. Gradually, we'll see the sun come out, but it may not be till this afternoon or until this evening for some of us here in the valley, with highs in the 50s to some low 60s, depending on where we get sunshine. It'll be warmer where it's sunnier longer. The wind will be out of the north. We'll be seeing wind speeds less than 15 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon. Still a little breezy this morning, though. We're in the 40s right now, 47 in Fargo, 47 in Grand Forks. And checking out your wind speeds, you can see those winds actually easing up even more here. We're seeing some winds now down to 15 or less. It's mainly out of the north or northwest here to start off our day. And I mentioned that fog, a little mist over to the east. We're seeing that. It's 3 miles visibility report in Badette and down toward Fergus Falls. There may even be some sprinkles in some of these areas. That's where we're closer to this system that's still departing the valley. You can see that green showing up on the map north and east of us. Over by Lake of the Woods, that would be most likely. Other than that, this system is quieting down. It's moving away, and we're looking at some better weather and a nice break from that action today. Now, we do have some storms and showers potentially for Friday, and it starts up late tonight. We'll start to see those clouds lift into the south overnight, and by the time we get into tomorrow morning, an isolated or scattered shower possible in the southern valley, but it really will be filling in and lifting north from there through the day. So we're looking at some showers ongoing through the day on Friday and perhaps even into the afternoon as we warm up a little bit more in the south, the potential for a thunder shower as well. So getting unsettled here in your forecast. Expect to have conditions that are on the a bit of the gloomy side here as we head into the afternoon hours, and expect conditions that are going to be rather quiet as we head into the weekend. Saturday, expect temperatures into the low 70s and some sunny skies mixed in with some clouds. And then for Sunday, some more sunshine with the potential for an isolated shower or thunder shower. Temperatures will be into the 60s coming up here. And by the time we get into Labor Day, goodness, I skipped all the way past summer. That's not good. We're looking at Memorial Day forecast, where we'll see temperatures that are a little cooler, but overall I do think the holiday will be pleasant with a slight chance for some rain. So the weekend's looking good, especially compared to the last one we just had to deal with.
You know, weather around here, though, it could be Labor Day or
Right?
Memorial Day.
Who
I mean,
knows?
we see it all the time.
Good point. Thank you, Lisa.
It's now 6:53. A Fergus Falls mom is blowing the whistle on her son's daycare after she was told he fell down the stairs, but claims it was much more. This in a story that you'll only see on Valley News Live. We discovered the case is actually about an assault. Casey Grant says her son's babysitter called her in the middle of the day saying he had fallen down the stairs.
But later that night, when Child Protective Services knocked on her door, she discovered her son was actually assaulted. Court documents show the babysitter's husband, Tyrone Anderson, pushed his wife, who fell on top of the child. And in another instance, Anderson ended up punching the toddler in the head.
Maverick was sitting on her lap, and her husband came out there and went to go punch her full force, but ended up punching my son in the temple full force, a grown man punching him.
Tyrone Anderson was convicted of endangerment of a child as well as domestic assault. He was sentenced to 60 days in jail.
A Fargo school student could be facing disciplinary action after a knife threat at Carl Ben Eielson Middle School this week. District officials say the threat was sent via Snapchat in a conversation between students.
Police worked with each family individually and then filed a disorderly conduct report. Officers and school administrators met the student before they entered the school and did not find a knife. A woman from the Northern Valley is dead after being hit by a car. Police say a man driving south of Drayton, North Dakota around 1 yesterday morning swerved to avoid a man who was standing on the road, but hit and killed a woman who was also on the road. 44-year-old Cammie Leland of Drayton died at the hospital. The driver is identified as 21-year-old Hunter Hatloy, also of Drayton.
Charges are pending against a driver after a rollover that police say happened when a passenger took control of the steering wheel. All 3 people in that vehicle are in the hospital fighting life-threatening injuries. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the driver had the front seat passenger steer the car so she could make a phone call. But the passenger lost control of that vehicle, hit a ditch, vaulted over a driveway, and then rolled several times. It happened Tuesday night on Highway 2 near Devil's Lake. Troopers have identified the driver as 73-year-old Edith Johnson and the passengers as Betty Johnson and Gloria Lassig. All 3 are from Devil's Lake. Police in Cass County, Minnesota are investigating a second possible drowning this week. The latest one happened Tuesday afternoon on Louise Lake near Longville. Authorities found a man in the water next to a fishing boat.
An autopsy is underway to determine the exact cause of death. Sheriff's officials are not releasing the victim's name until family is notified. The body of a 69-year-old woman was found in Leech Lake last Monday afternoon. A new scam looks to be targeting a West Fargo priest, and it's a story you will only see on Valley News Live. It involves Holy Cross Catholic Church in West Fargo and a longtime priest there, Father Jim Meyer.
The church says people are receiving texts and emails asking for gift cards. The messages look like they came from Father Meyer. They believe the scammers are targeting him because he'll be celebrating his 25th anniversary of being a priest on May 29th. Bonanzaville is having their 14th annual Memorial Day event where we can honor those who fought for our country.
The Valley Today's Abby Furchner joins us live from Bonanzaville this morning with a preview of this event. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Lisa and Jordan. I'm here with Missy Warren with Bonanzaville, and this is the 14th annual Memorial Day event. And why does Bonanzaville continue to put this on year after year?
Well, this is one of those times where all of the veterans can kind of come together and share those stories that maybe they're not comfortable, talking to other people about otherwise. And it's a sense of community. It's a really moving experience.
And there's going to be a lot on display. I know veterans are going to be here to share their stories, but we're also standing in front of one of the Huey helicopters as well.
Yes, so this is one of my favorite artifacts. This obviously brings back a ton of memories from the Vietnam War. It gets talked about a lot. We also have an amazing guest speaker scheduled to speak tonight, Joe Wallivand. He's a U.S. Army Green Beret, so we're excited to talk to him and just to have all of these veterans kind of network and get together it's just a great sense of community.
Absolutely. And the Vietnam Veterans of America will be here, but also Block Island veterans will be here. And it's a really special moment for them to come out to Bonanzaville for this event.
It is. We're super excited to host them for their 75th and final year. The Vietnam vets were talking to me about this earlier, and we couldn't be happier that they're going to be on site for this event.
But this event starts at 3 and it is open to the public, so people in the community can come out and hear the speakers and they can sit down and talk with vets as well.
Yes, we have free admission for the general public starting at 3. The veteran program for the veterans specifically does start at 5:30, but anybody can come out, speak with those vets. They will be here this afternoon and into the evening. So
you'll want to come out. 3 o'clock is when it all gets started to get a jump start on Memorial Day weekend.
Abby Furchner reporting live for us this morning. Thank you. It's been a wild ride this month. And this week is a prime example of how winter just refuses to release its grip. This is the Black Hills in South Dakota. They were smothered in some areas, more than 2 feet of snow.
Power lines and trees are down. Roads are washed out in some areas where it rained. There are now some concerns about flooding, so the weather could always be worse. We got it pretty good here. But let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: 1/3 of singles in a recent survey won't date someone because of this.
The answer: their name must be associated with someone they don't like. You can play along every weekday morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. No snow for us today, right?
No, thank goodness. And really no rain either for most of the day. We're looking at some quiet conditions. It's a little gray out there today to start off. I'm hoping by the time the day is done, we'll get some sunshine, but it may be a while before we see it. So temperatures will be in the 50s to 60s for highs and lighter wind too. It's overnight tonight and into tomorrow that we see our next round of showers move in.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but remember, the Valley Today rolls on. Join us for more live, up-to-the-minute news and weather right now on the Fargo CW.